Hi, good afternoon. Let me test my microphone first. 刘廷宇，你有听到我声音吗？
有，
有哈。卢俊明呢？卢俊明在不在？有，好。
对。
Okay. I think that's no problem. So let's go back to my slide, okay? So next we will talk about how to design a quite easy app that's happy the card, right? Happy birthday card. Okay. So in this app, we simply use some basic viewed component like the text view to display the message and the image view to display the one message. To display the one image. Okay, that image view. So the image view also add the background, okay, in this app. So let's go back to the Android Studio to check our app and some the program the code there. 好，那我们上次就是讲简单的这个 APP 的设计了哈，希望各位回去有自己练习一下啊。Okay, as I mentioned, you can refer to the Google website to check the online training course. Okay, and in my slide, most of my example are copied from this web page. Enjoy the backseat in the Kotlin. Okay, you will see we have Unit 1 and the Unit 2. Okay, and when you click I think that's Unit 1. Okay, Unit 1 here, build a basic layout and open this page, and you will see how to design a birthday card app. Okay, just what I mentioned in my class. Okay. So let me open the Happy Birthday project. Okay, let's review the environment about the Android Studio. Okay, so here, when we open the project, the left-hand side, you will see the project folder. Okay, most of the time, we will switch to the Android mode. If we want to check the file structure, you can switch to the project file mode or the project mode. Okay. So here, for any the app, we have some program code. The program code is under the directory Java, and here is your package name. Okay, and we have the main activity.kt. Okay, we will explain the program code later. Besides the program code, the project also need to use some of the resources that's under the IES, mean resource. Okay, for example, we have drawable resource. Okay, because in our layout we contain the background image. Okay, and the layout, that's the major UI interface. Okay, so we have the activity main.xml. We double click the XML file. And you can see here, we have two ways to update the layout file. One is use the design mode. Okay, that's a design mode. Provides a visual interface, okay, or a visual editor. Or you can change to the code mode. Code mode, you will see all the layout file are represented using the using the XML language, okay, described in XML. Okay, so let's switch to the design mode, because that's more easy to design all the interface. Okay. To leave more space, I simply close the project. Okay, so you can see here, that's our the interface. And here is a component tree that shows the viewed hierarchy. Okay, so the first layer over the screen, that's the constraint layout. Okay, you can see when you select constraint layout, you will see the blue box cover the whole screen. That's the constraint layout. And when you select the image view, that's also here, cover the whole screen. And the test view is shown here, and here is another test view. Okay, next time I say I want to stack the images, set the image to be the same size as the whole screen. Actually, there are two ways. Maybe I showed how to fix the image to the whole screen. Okay, the most easy way is by setting the layout width and the layout height. Okay, you can see here. Here I set the image the layout width to be match parent, and the height also the match parent. So why is the parent? You can see here, image view is under the constraint layout. So constraint layout is the image view the parent. So when you select constraint layout, the parent covers the whole screen. Okay, so when you select the image view, here I set the layout width to be match parent. This means I hope the image view, the width is the same as have the same size as the parent. Okay, so because our parent covers the whole screen. So when we both set the width and the height to be match parent, that will also cover the whole screen. Okay, so that's the first way. The second way is more recommended when the layout is constraint layout. Okay, so let's try the second way. Second way, I need to apply the constraint. Okay, so here, suppose I change the height to the other value, and I simply try to resize my image view to show you how do I add the constraint layout. Okay, let me add folder layout, because I hope the image view to cover the whole screen. So here we need to add fold constraint for fold border. Okay, the top border to the top, left to the left hand side, right to the right hand side, and button to here. Okay, and also, so that's the first thing we need to do. The second thing is change the layout width and the layout height to be 0 or match constraint. Okay, set to 0, set to be 0. Okay, so you will see the image view will cover the whole screen. Okay, so that's the second way. Okay, here, let me see the component tree. In the component tree, we'll see some of the warning message showed here and here and here. Okay, so let's consider the test view the problem. Okay, when we click the warning message, simply click. It will show the first problem is showed here. Okay, and here you will see the message. The message showed the hard-coded string, happy birthday Sam. Okay, that's because the test view show the message, happy birthday the same. And we just type the message in our attribute showed here, text, we directly type the message here, directly input the messages here. That's not the suggested way, okay? So that's called hard-coded. So how do we fix the problem? We can scroll down. You will see the suggestion, okay? The suggestion is each track stream the resource, okay? So the compiler help you remove the message value into a separate file, okay? The separate file actually here, we want to remove the message into the valued folder and the streams.xml, okay? We need to declare the one stream variable, and the variable value is happy birthday Sam, okay? So that's what the compiler suggested we need to do. Okay, so let's go back to our, let's close the, here. Okay, so let's see the suggestion. Suggestion, we simply click the fix, try to fix the problem. It's the problem, okay? When you click the fix, we will see a pop-up window. This window is actually called the resource management window. From here, we need to declare a streamed variable. Okay, for example, maybe we accept the default name as happy birthday Sam, connect by the underscore, and that's the resource value here. And the file to store the variable is streams.xml. Yeah, that's what we want. So we simply click the OK. Okay, so let's go back to the project and open the stream.xml. You will see a new variable, happy birthday Sam. Okay, that's the variable name and the streamed value. Okay, so let's go back to the main layout. Okay, so let's check what happened to the streamed value. Okay, so maybe we can switch to the code mode to check the detailed XML. Okay, let's go back to here. That's the test view. So you can see the test attribute has a reference. Okay, that means we need to reference a value from the streams.xml, and the variable name is happy birthday Sam. Okay, so that's not same as this one. You can see the second test view. We directly type the message here, so you will see a yellowed colored here. That's the warning message. Okay, so we need to do the extraction. Okay, so let's try to solve the problem again. Okay, another way to solve the problem is from the XML file. Okay, I show another way. Okay, let's simply move the mouse here, and you will see the suggested solution. Extract streamed resource. Okay, click the stream resource, and here you will see the suggested variable name and the value. Okay, and store the value into the stream.xml, and press OK. Okay, so the test from the EMA is also referred to from this variable. Okay, so let's go back to our layout, switch to the design mode. You will see the warning message just disappear. Okay, however, here we will check the image view as one warning message. So we simply click the message. The message say image without content description. Okay, content description means for the Android system contain one help function. If the image for blind person, blind person cannot see the image. So the Android system will will try to read the image description for the blind person. So that's called the content description. Content description 就是给那个看不见图片的那些盲人，那系统会用念的方式把它念出来，念的内容就是来自于这 content description. Okay, so the system will read the message from the content description. However, in our attribute, we don't set the content description. However, in this app, I just don't want to set any the message to describe the content. So how do we disable the warning message? Okay, let's see how to disable. You can check my slide. The solution is shown here. We can set the image important for accessibility set to false, then the warning message will disappear. 把这个属性的这个存取重要性设成 false， 那个警告讯息就会移除了。Okay, so let's try to locate this attribute. Let's go back to the Android Studio and like select the image view. Okay, the right hand side you will see the all attributes that can be set for the image view. However, it's not so easy to locate the important for accessibility, right? Maybe we can use a search. We can use a search and type the important. You will see that's this one. Okay, important for accessibility. Scroll down. We set to no. We don't want to any description. Okay, so you'll see the warning message also the disappear. Okay, so that's for the first app. So let's rerun the app. So when we want to run the app, we tap the run the button. 来再把这个 app 再执行一次啊，我们就把这个 app 就结束了啊。Okay, so here we wait for the emulator. Okay, let's wait for a moment. Install the app and then launch the app. You will see we got the app interface, right? Okay, so that's how to design a simple and easy app. So let's go back to my slide. In my today's lesson, we will demo the second app. Okay, the second app is called Dice Roller. Okay, so here we will show simply use to the text view. Simply use to the view. One shows the number and another is a button. Okay, so when we press the lower button, we will randomly generate a number from the 1 to 6. Okay, for example, when I click the lower, the number will show the 2. Click the lower again, maybe the number becomes the 4. Okay, so that's the roller. Okay, so let's see how to design such an app. For more detail, remember you can go to the website. Okay, 好，那我们来 今天就设计我们的第二个 APP。Let's close the project and sorry, let's create a new project. Remember, for the simple app, we select the empty activity. Next, suppose sorry, please wait a moment. Okay, so let's set the project name to be my dice roller. Okay, and accept the default picture name and the save location. Language is Kotlin. Minima supported SDK is API 20.1. Okay, that's the finish. And the wait for the system to download the necessary file. Okay, remember in this app, I need two view component. One is a text view to display the number. The second is the button. Okay, later we will replace the text view with an image view to show a real diced image. Okay. Okay, I think I need to check my project structure. Maybe you don't need to do this step in your computer. I just want to make sure. Okay, let's try to run the app. By default, the app will show a hello world. Okay. Let's open the emulator. Let's wait a moment. Sorry. Back it here. Okay, that's right. For any beginning project, the project will show the hello world and contain the one message. So let's try to open our layout file. Okay, let's go to emulator and the resource, and the layout, and the activity main.xml. Okay, let's switch to the design mode. Okay, so here we have one test view. Okay, according to our dice roller, we need one button. So here is a palette. Palette contains several kinds of viewed components. So common for this category, there are some commonly used viewed components. So let's select the button. Okay, I need to put the button to this location under the hello world. So let's drag the button about this position. Okay, because that's the constrained layout. I will just hide the project. That's constrained layout. So we need to add constraint for this view. Okay. So button, let's add. For example, I hope the button to be at the centered position. Okay. So we add the button to the right, to the left. Then the button will show in the center on the horizontal direction. Okay. And also, I hope the button just below the hello world. So I need to add a constraint from here to here. Okay, from here to here. Okay, and you can see. Okay, maybe I just set the constraint. Add the suite constraint. And the next step, according to my instruction guide, I need to change the hello world test. So far, the test view displays the hello world. Right? However, in our app, I hope here should show the load number. So we let's I need the attribute window, this one, attribute. Okay. So by default, the text attribute contains the hello world. So we simply clear the message. And okay. However, when I set the text to be empty, the layout editor will also show the nothing, right? However, during the design time, maybe here I want to have certain content for easily edit. Okay, so how do we show the something during the design time? We can set the attribute for the for this attribute. This attribute is also the text. However, before the text, you can see a toward symbol. That's called a toward mode. Okay, for example, I the number 2. Okay, maybe the text is too small. I set the size to be a more large size. I change the text size. 文字大小改一下 34 SP. Okay, more larger. Okay, so the 2 is during the design time. At the layout editor, you will see the number 2. However, during the runtime will refer to the text attribute, not this one. So 这两个有点不太一样。Maybe let's go back to the code mode. Text view. Okay, that's the tools test. Okay, during the runtime, we need to refer to the Android test, not toward the test. So what's the name? The tools app Android. That's different namespace. Because this is 不同的命名空间 different namespace. Tools mean this attribute will refer to during the layout design. Android or the app, this attribute will be referred to during the runtime. 属性这个不同的 namespace 在不同时间会被参考的，好吧？好 ，Back to the design mode. And here I want to change the button. I want to change the text to be lower, not the button. 文字也改一下。Button text. Okay, and also the text. You can see currently we show the text to be button. However, I want to change to lower. Okay, that's the lower. Okay, so that's the second step. So that's our initial layout design. Okay, let's open the project folder. So that's the layout will be described in this file, activity main.xml. Okay, and the major program is shown here, main activity. Let's open the main activity. Okay, the main activity contains a class. Main activity just the class name, and this format we call the class inheritance. We inherit from the system app compact activity. Okay, that's the system defined activity the class become our the parent class. And here we need to override the parent method. One of the methods we need to override is onCreate. Okay, the onCreate is the first method when we launch our app. onCreate means I want to create my app and display the view from my layout. Okay, so where is my layout file? We specify the layout file using the description r.layout.activity underlined main. So this means I want to refer to the layout main.xml. This file is located under the layout folder, and the R, as I explained next next week, R is a system generated class file for resource index. Okay, so remember, when we write our program code, if we want to access the resource file, we need to use the R file, r.something, something like that. Okay, so the set content view, this program statement just load our view description from the layout and create the view according to the description in this file. 这个就是依据这个 layout 的内容开始去创建 view 在荧幕上，就靠这一行。Okay, so that's our main program code. Okay, later we will add more program code here. Okay, after show the layout, we will do more thing. For example, when the user clicks the button, we will generate a random number and display the number on the screen. So we have several things we need to do. We will type the code here. Okay, so let's consider, because in our program code we need to refer to the system API. Okay, so here we need to use some import some library function. Okay, actually the Android Studio supports the auto import. Okay, you can check my slide. The slide is here. If you want to enable auto import, you can follow the setting according to my slide. Okay, the setting is found here. The file and the new project setting, preference for new project, and from here, other setting, auto import. Okay, and from here, we will trigger the ambiguous import on the fly, and we can also check the optimized import on the fly. And for the coupling, we also check this to the option. OK， 这个是自动汇入函式库的一个设定。OK， actually it's not the necessary step. The Android Studio will suggest you to import the required library. OK， the Android Studio still will show the suggested library for you. 你没有设也没关系，反正它也会提醒你，就你要汇入的是哪一个，不过你要自己选的是。OK， so let's go back to the next slide. Here, I want to make our button the function. Okay, so when we tap the button, we need to do the something. Okay, so let's try to write some program code here. Okay, the first thing is we want to retrieve our button in our program. So how do we access the button from our program? We need to locate the button first. How do we locate? We need to call the function called the find view by ID. Okay, so let's declare a variable that's a loader button. Okay, that's available. It's available where you present the button on our layout. So the data type is a button, and we want to try to locate the position. So we need to use the find view by ID. Okay, ID. We need to know the ID for the button. So how do I know the ID for the button? We need to go back to the main layout. For example, here we have a button, right? We can check the attribute setting. Here, ID, by default, that's button. You can change your favorite name, okay? And let's see the text view. The text view, the ID by default, that's text view, okay? So just remember, here we have the ID. And in our program, we need to match and use the same ID, okay? For example, I want to access a button. So here, I want to know the ID for my button, okay? So that's the way to accept the button from the view, okay? After having the button, we need to handle the click event, okay? To handle the click event, that's quite easy. We try to for button, call the method function. The method function is set on click is here. Set on click listener. Okay. You can see here is a button variable. Set on click listener. That's the method function. However, you will see the writing is quite strange because here I use a lambda expression. The curly brace means here is a lambda. Okay, lambda contain a function the body. So from here, that's what I want to do when we tap or when we click the button. What we want to do will describe here 啊，这个是利用 lambda 的那个方式啊，来简化我的程式的一个写法。Okay, so here, for example, I simply want to pop up a message on the screen when the user tap the button. So how to show the pop-up message? We can simply call the toast. Toast is a system provider way to show a pop-up message. Okay, that's quite easy. We call the toast, that's the class name, and call the method function make test. Okay, and provide some parameter. The first parameter we refer to the zigs. Zigs means the zigs activity. Okay, for more detail, maybe I will explain in another slide. The second parameter is the message on the screen. Okay, so simple, the dice load. And the third parameter is the time duration to display the message. Here, I refer to the system, the constant value that's defined in the toaster. Length. I select the length short. Okay. So here I call the make the test to create the message. Create the toaster message. The second I want to show the message. Here I use a very easy way to show the message. I directly call the show. Okay. In Java, that's called chaining the code. Chaining the code. Okay. I chained several method function called together. That's called chaining the code. For example, I call the make test and then call the show the method, put them together. 啊，这个是一种简略的一个写法啊，叫做 chaining 的一个写法。Okay, so that's quite easy. When the user clicks the button, we will show the message. So let's run the app. 我们来试看看啊。Let's open the emulator. Okay, you will see during the runtime, the text view showed nothing, right? And only see the button. Right, click the lower. You will see a pop-up message. Dice the lower. Okay, so that's the toast message. Let's click the lower again. You will see the toast message again. Okay, so that's quite easy, right? We associate something we need to do by restrict the lambda expression to the unclicked listener 这个就是把一个 lambda 来把要做的事情把它绑在一个 unclick 的事件里面。Okay, that's quite easy. But that's not what we want. We want to click the lower button and display some numerical value here. Okay, so we need to change our function code. Okay, so let's disable this program line. Here, we want to display something on the text view, right? So this means we also need to use program code to access the text view. Just like the button, we need to access the viewed component first by using the find view by ID. Okay, so we declare available there as a result. It's the view. Okay, so here my purpose is showed here. Go back to our main activity. Here we have button and the text view, right? And in our program code, we want to access this text view. So we need to call the find view by ID. So remember, the text view ID is the text view. Okay, so go back to the main activity. Result text view given any available name. That's text view, right? That's data type. And find view by ID. ID, remember, use the r.id. That's the text view, right? That's the view. Okay, so we access the text view. The next thing is to specify the text view, the text attribute. Okay, so result view.text. Okay, so that's the text attribute. When we change the text attribute to any the message on the screen, you will see the message is there. 好吧，设成你要显示的内容。For example, I show the message to be 6 always. Okay, let's try to rerun the app. Let's open our emulator. Okay, so this time I hope when I tap the button, we will show the 6 on the text view. Click the lower, you will see that's 6, right? Press again, that's always the 6. Okay, that's quite close to what we want. Okay, so the next step is we need to generate a random number, and here I want to show a random number, not a fixed number. 所以接着我们就要真正模拟丢骰子的那个方式啊，来去产生我要的点数了。Okay, so here I want to simulate the rolling of a dice. Okay, so here we need to declare or create a dice object. To create the dice object, we need to create a dice class. 我们先建一个骰子的类别。Okay, and from here, outside the main activity, I want to create a dice class because I want to create a dice object. Okay, so we use the dice keyword, and okay, so like here we can review how to construct a class. And suppose when we create a dice, we need to provide the how many number of sides for this dice. So here the primary constructor contains one property. I use this way, number side, and the int. Okay, remember, this way means when we construct the dice object, we need to provide the number side. Number side is one property, okay, for this class. 这个会变成它内定的其中一个属性。Okay, so having the number of side, we can generate a random number. Here we create a method function. I create a method function called lore. Here is our method function. The method function will return the lore number. So number is an integer type, right? And here I want to return a random number between the 1 to the number of sides. For example, the number of sides, typical a dice has 6 sides. Okay, so we need to generate number between the 1 to 6. So here we apply the range operator, 1 to number side. Okay, suppose the number side is 6. That's between the 1 to 6. Okay, and randomly select from one value from this range. We need to call the random. Okay, the segment state, when we construct a dice, we pack the number side into this class. For example, the number side can be 6. So here, when we call the lore function will return the one number select from the range 1 to 6. Okay, so having the dice class, we can create the dice and do what we want to do. So here I want to do the more thing. More thing will specify the here. Okay, to simplify our program structure, we can remove what we want to do into another method function. 我们把要做一大堆的事情挪到另外一个函数里面定义。Okay, so here I want to provide a private function. So the location should be not here. Remember the coding the position. Here is the main activity, and here is the uncreated method function. And after the method function, we can define our own function. And this function is internal for having the private usage. 这个是内部用的， so we can set the access control to be private function. And more dice. Okay, oh, sorry. Here I want to comment out this statement, and then simply here I want to call the lore dice here. Okay, so this means when user tap the button, we will call the function lore dice. So lore dice will show here. So here. So the first thing is we need to create one dice object. Okay, that's the first thing. So how do we create the dice object? Because we have the dice class, right? So we declare a val as a dice to be dice class name, and passing the parameter number side. We have 6 sides. Okay, so we generate a dice with 6 sides. Okay, and then having the dice, we can call the load function to generate the load number. Here, I declare another variable to store the value dice load. Is a dice call the max function load. Okay, so when we call the max function will return the one value, and this value will be stored into the dice load variable. 这样就把它储存下来了。Okay, so the next thing is we want to show the number to this text view, just like program code here. We want to access the text view, so we copy these two statements here, Command C and Command V. Okay, so the first thing is that we need to retrieve the text view. Okay, and the second thing, we set the text attribute. And this time, I want to display the load number. The number is stored in this variable line, so we call the dice load. However, dice load is an integer value. The text attribute should be string value. So we need to do the type conversion. From integer to string, we call the toString. Okay, type conversion. So let's recheck our program code. The user tap the button. We call the private function load dice. Load dice will first create a dice object with 6 sides and generate a load number, and access the text view and display the set the text value to be the load number. Okay, that's not quite correct. Let's try to run our app. 我们就来试着执行看看，是不是真的就完成我们要的目的。好 ，let's click the lower button, show the number 3, and try again. 5. It's also 5. 3. Look great, right? 好，这个就是我们目前这个程式的内容啊。看各位有没有问题 ？OK, any question? And then let's take a break.